Good morning, students. Today's topic is SARC. Actually, this topic was in third chapter, that was New Centers of Power. But I have not taught this chapter there because I thought firstly I must teach you about the South Asian countries, and that after that I will teach you the association which is formed by the South Asian countries. So actually this is the part of lesson 3, SARC. But in your book it is in lesson 5, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Again I will tell you, this is a part of New Centers of Power. But in your book it is mentioned in lesson number 5, that is Contemporary South Asia. So let us start with SARC. Full form of SARC is South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. As it's clear from its name that this association was formed by the South Asian countries to cooperate with each other for the acceleration of economic growth. Means, as the European countries were helping each other for economic growth, as the countries of ASEAN, they were helping each other for economic growth, same the countries of South Asia, they formed this group, they formed this association to help each other for economic development, not only for economic development but to maintain peace in this area. This SARC was formed in 1985. Its secretariat is in Kathmandu, capital of Nepal. Its official language is English, and its founders were India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka and Maldives. First conference of SARC was held on 8 December 1985 in Dhaka in Bangladesh. Earlier, Afghanistan was not a part of this SARC, but later Afghanistan has also joined it. Means now Afghanistan is also the part of SARC. Its cultural capital is in Bamyan, that is in Afghanistan. The head of the countries, maybe the president, maybe the prime minister, the head of the countries, they meet annually. It means its summit is held annually in any of the countries, sometimes in India or in Pakistan or in Bangladesh or in other country. But the foreign minister of these countries, they meet biannually. Biannually means 2 times in a year. Head of the country, maybe the prime minister or the president or the king or the monarch, they meet annually once in a year when its summit is held. But the foreign ministers, they meet twice in 1 year. What were its objectives? The objectives of SARC, as I have told you, to quicken or to accelerate the economic growth of all these countries, to help each other in the field of economy, to quicken the social progress, not only the economic development, but socially the people of all these countries should be progressed. Cultural development will be there. Welfare, all round welfare of the people of South Asia, to promote the good quality of life should be given to all the people living in these areas. And there should be trust, means they will not attack upon each other. They must have mutual trust, understanding, and if there is any problem in any of the country or between two countries, so they must try to solve it with negotiation, not by the force. So these are the key objectives why the SARC was formed. This SARC has signed a treaty that was known as SAFTA. This SAFTA was an agreement for the economic development, for helping each other in trade and commerce. This SAFTA was signed by the countries of SAARC, that is South Asian Free Trade Agreement. That is SAFTA, South Asian Free Trade Agreement. It was signed in 2004, but it came into effect on 1st January 2006. What is its objective? Its objective is to form the free trade zone for South Asia and to lower the tariff rates by 20%. Means export import duty should be reduced by the 20%. This was mainly for the economic development of South Asian countries. But because when I have started this chapter, I have told you that India is the biggest, largest country among all these countries and richer also as compared to other countries. So the countries of South Asia, they think that India will invade their market because of this SAFTA. But India thinks that we are not going to invade the market of other countries. If we are selling our products in our countries, so it will be beneficial for all. So this was about SAARC and SAFTA. Again I will tell you that this topic is not for this chapter. This topic is for chapter New Centers of Power. So students, that's all for today. Tomorrow we will meet again and we will discuss picture based questions of this chapter. Till then, goodbye.